Great. All right. Hello, Dr. Tiffany. Do you prefer me to say Dr. Tiffany, Dr. Marie? How would you like me to? Just
No,
so I.
Dr. Tiffany's good. That's good.
Okay.
Hmm.
Okay. Well, hi everyone. My name is Stacy, and I am super excited about hosting this. I am standing in for the infamous Jim Grasser, the Healthy Fit Master. He normally hosts this along with his sidekick here, Dr. Tiffany. She is amazing,
Sidekick.
and I'm
What the heck? Go ahead,
no, this is
Stacy.
not a sidekick. I'm already doing the wrong thing. This better half. Okay, that's even worse probably. But Dr. Tiffany is she is amazing, someone amazing to learn from. And I am very fortunate. She's one of the amazing people that I've met in my journey. I have been with this company for over a year now. It has done amazing things in my life because about a year ago, I was in, it was a tough time for me. I'm 50 years old now. I'm postmenopausal. I have battled with depression and anxiety all my life. IBS for 19 years, high blood pressure. And then you get to your 40s and they tell you, well, you're just getting older. So you're going to be a little chubby and tired and in a bad mood. And you have to get over it basically as a woman because you have menopause. Well, I had every symptom and my doctors weren't helping me. No offense to doctors. I'm a person who's always at the doctor. But when it came to this time of my life, I was not getting the help I needed. My medications weren't working for my depression anymore. And I was begging for help. And I didn't know what to do. I was really at my wit's end and I was sick and tired of being sick and tired. And then I gained 30 and I couldn't lose it. And that was a big thing. I never had the issue. And all of a sudden I'm craving food. I can't stop eating. I'm tired. I have brain fog. I'm forgetting my name. It was awful. So I was scrolling around on social media like you could be today. And I found someone talking about a protocol where they reversed their type 2 diabetes. And I had no idea you could do that. And I also didn't realize what insulin did in our body. We'll get into that in a little bit. But through listening to my friend Kristen, I learned what was going on with her. So I decided to give it a shot, not even realizing what would happen with me. And I literally fixed all my menopause symptoms in the first 2 months. In 2 weeks, I got rid of all my menopause symptoms except for my night sweats. That was a big thing. The depression was gone and the anxiety was gone. I'm an alcoholic. I don't crave alcohol anymore. And then I lost 30 in 2 months. And now I'm down 40. I've maintained it since October with ease, no high blood pressure. I medicate for nothing. My life has just changed drastically in every way. And I've just found a new way to live and it's natural. And I did it with food. Figure out how to use my food as medicine. And it's just been amazing. So, but through this company, I have met the amazing Dr. Tiffany. Um, I do want to say first that if you were invited here, just know, just get with the person who invited you after, but hang tight because they care about you and they really want you to get help and they think this would be something good for you. It's worth the hour of your time to listen. You're going to learn a lot from my friend here, and I really think you'd benefit from listening. So again, if you are on Facebook or Instagram, just share it out to one of your loved ones and friends, and invite them in. We'd love to have them. But here's Dr. Tiffany.
Hello, Stacy, and everybody. Please give Stacy some love because she was kind of thrown on the spot. Jim has some big shoes to fill. I mean, he
He
does.
does.
He does. But I'm happy we have somebody here who's capable to do all this. And like we're saying, tag anybody if you're on Facebook. That's so easy to do. Use that @ symbol and add anybody on Facebook into the group, and that way they can hear what we're talking about. So I am a double board certified physician. That's why I said sidekick. What the heck I look like? Not a sidekick, sis. But double board certified physician in family and lifestyle medicine and a metabolic health consultant. And after 20 years of practicing family medicine, I really was somebody who just got tired of writing prescriptions. I didn't want to keep seeing people on medications, needing medications for another problem, and then a medication for the side effects. And I just had to find something else. And sometimes it takes a life event. I had to go through a life event to where things changed. My life went topsy turvy. And here I was on my back, looking up, looking for something else. Then I believe I was led to lifestyle medicine, which is about going after the root causes of conditions, using things like managing our stress, our sleep, the food we're eating, and even avoiding toxins, avoiding risky substances like Stacy talks about. All these things affect our health. And so focusing in on that, I started getting on social media, talking about these things, talking about lifestyle changes. And that's when I got connected with somebody who has just been so beneficial in my life. And she showed me these products. And since then, I've been telling everybody about them. I was able to get off of my blood pressure medicine with them, able to have that smaller waistline that I wanted to have, able to help my brother get off his insulin, his Trulicity, his metformin, able to help my 70, now 74-year-old mom actually be able to wear her heels again. She has MS, and so she was kind of dragging that leg before, but now she's wearing her heels, looking cute because she likes to be cute. I don't know where she got that from, where I got it from, right? But I got to actually see all these things happen in my family. So it became a no-brainer. So then I'm telling everybody on any type of platform I can be on. So I'm so excited to be here to be able to share all I know and also be able to help anybody who's interested. So happy to be here, Stacey.
Happy you're here too. I don't know if I've told you, Dr. Tiffany, or you knew that I am in nursing school. So I'm in my 7th week of nursing school.
I
So it
did
is
see
going
that.
well. Yeah.
Congrats. That
So
is so
yeah.
awesome.
So I've worked in medical for a few years now as a CNA. And at my age, I'm like, I can't do this work anymore. Never mind, it's not easy. And I decided to finally fulfill my goals. And that's what I'm talking about, this company and how much it's changed my life, because it brought me to a place in my mental state where I was capable of pulling my stuff together. So I'm happy to join the world in a natural, holistic way. So
Yes,
I
yes.
didn't know if you knew. I'm excited about it.
I saw it on your post. I thought that was so great. That takes a lot going back and doing that. So yeah, kudos to you. You should be celebrated. So this is good.
So,
Great.
okay. So again, welcome in everyone. We are happy you're here. And we want to just share this out to people. Where do we go next, Dr. Tiffany? Help me out.
Well, you know what I think we need to do? I think we need
What's
to
that?
bring somebody who has a story.
Good
So
idea.
I would love to bring in Miss Donna, somebody who's been in the health and wellness field for a little period of time. I'm not going to go talking about your story too much, but somebody who cares so much about seeing people get healthy. I mean, even right now, she's working. So you got to love that type of work ethic. So come share your story with us, Donna. We're happy to hear it.
Well, hello, hello, hello. Well, I am Donna Turner, and my story, my story is I was diagnosed as a type 2 diabetic for over 15 plus years. I took 8 years of metformin. I was still at a 5.9. And then after I decided in August 1st, 2019, no more meds for me. I'm not taking any more medications. I'm going to do this thing myself. So I just stayed 5.9, 5.9. Well, over the holidays last year, I was having a lot of fun, enjoying life. And when I went for my physical on January 2nd, the doctor told me, he says, your A1C is 6.2. He had been waiting for me to be diabetic because he told me that's what I would be if I didn't take metformin. So I just said, okay, I'm not going to be diabetic. I went to the cardiologist on February 2nd. He says your A1C is 6.4, 6.5 is diabetes. I said, no, sir, that will not be me. So I decided I was going to, I had already did all the things, okay? I used to intermittently many years, probably 15 years or plus. I was eating lots of fruits and vegetables. I even grow my own fruits and vegetables in my living room. So it wasn't the food, it was something else. So in, I think, April, a friend of mine, Robin, who's a nutritionist, invited me on a call. And she says, well, we have Dr. Tiffany coming on. You should come to this call. I said, okay, I'm going to come because I'm still looking for something that's going to break this 6.4 because I'm not going to be a diabetic. Diabetes is in my family, both sides. Heart disease is in my family. My niece had a heart attack in October. That's not going to be me. And so I got on that call, and Dr. Tiffany mentioned insulin resistance. And a little bell clicked on in my head that said, that is it. If I can get that under control, then I have no diabetes. I'm not having a heart attack because at 33, I was diagnosed with CAD. When I had my first EKG, it showed that I'd had an MI. At 33 years old, I was healthy as an ox. I had 3 athletic kids. Me and my husband were healthy. So that stunned me. So in my eyes, I was the first one in my family with a heart condition. So I vowed that I was not going to be that. So when I heard about insulin resistance, I said, I have to look more into that because it makes sense. And when she said all of these things, heart disease, cancer, diabetes, all of those things, Alzheimer's, all are under that root of insulin resistance, I said, I need to try that. So I did. So I bought the product and I tried it. I could not do the Unamate tea because of my heart rate. I always have a high heart rate. My heart rate's always 88, 90, 98. That's normal for me. So when I tried it, it went to 130 just after a half of a bottle of it. So I couldn't do that. So I did go back and talk to Dr. Tiffany. She says, well, you need that chlorogenic acid in there. She said, let's try a fourth of a teaspoon in 40 ounces of water. So I tried that for 2 weeks. I was able to tolerate it. Heart rate was normal. I went and did a week of it being a half in there. And then I didn't do anything for a month of June. I did all of it in the month of July. And when I went back on August 3rd to have my labs done, my A1C went from 6.4 to 5.7. I had not seen a 5.7 in more than 15 years.
Yes.
My doctor to this day does not want to admit that what I'm doing is workable. Okay, he told me I needed to take Ozempic and a statin to prevent myself from having a heart attack. I told him, no, sir, I'm not taking your Ozempic and I'm not taking your statin because I believe our bodies will heal itself if we give it what it needs. And it doesn't need drugs. Mine don't. I don't do well with drugs, but I do well with plants. And that's my story.
Yes. Yes. I love it. I love it. One, because I think it's important to show that there's nuances in doing what we're doing. So some people may need a little tapering up on the Unamate, or some people may need a little tapering up on the fiber. But once we get it to the dosage that's going to work for you, we see these types of results. And so coming from your background, you were already doing fasting. You were already doing all the things that so many other people aren't. And so there's going to be a difference in how you move through this whole protocol. So thank you so much for sharing. I thought that was very helpful.
You're welcome.
Thank you so much. Great.
That's good. That's good. I mean, really not seeing that A1C for 15 years get that low, that's something to say, right?
It's amazing.
So, you know what? Since we're talking about all of this, I guess it's important to talk about how we got here. What is going on?
Yes.
So I guess I need
And
to
I
share.
love learning from you for sure. You're amazing to learn from.
Oh, that is so sweet. I think, after a while, I say all this stuff that everybody on this call probably could say it. But that's okay.
Yeah, but every time I listen to you, though, something else connects, and I'm like, oh, another connection. Now I understand. So I love watching.
Well, thanks, Stacey. Thanks.
You're
Okay.
welcome.
So what we're talking about here, we're talking about cardiometabolic health. That is the problem. You have 1 in 3 people that are actually dealing with a metabolic syndrome. That's pretty much at the root of poor metabolic health. But I love this study in a center that says that only 7% of Americans actually have good cardiometabolic health. And that was done with Tufts University in 2022, only 7%. And so if you extrapolate that out, what happens to the rest of the 93% of us, right? That doesn't sound good. And then the medications that we prescribe as physicians to help cardiovascular risk, actually, those are your statins, only decrease the risk by 1%, 1 out of 100 people. And if you actually do the lifestyle changes, start working on your lifestyle, your sleep, your stress, your activity, you can actually improve your cardiometabolic health by 39%. So those types of numbers, it becomes very obvious what we need to be doing. Now, of course, when you see stuff like this, that heart disease is still the number 1 killer. It's been the number 1 killer for, too long. Even with the low-fat diets, the low-fat snack cakes, the snack wells, we're still struggling. Why? Because we're not dealing with the root. So insulin resistance is at the root of all of this. You have your heart disease, you have your cancer, your fatty liver, your polycystic ovarian syndrome, migraine, stroke, and I'm going to go into detail for some of these too. Neuropathy, erectile dysfunction, right? So what is insulin? Insulin is a hormone that your pancreas releases to get glucose into the cell. Without the insulin, that glucose cannot get into the liver, muscle, or fat cells, okay? And so when you eat a carbohydrate rich meal, it's going to break into a lot of glucose, and that's going to give you your big spike of glucose. Your pancreas then has to release insulin to make some use of that energy, get that in the cells to use it. And in so doing, sometimes it overshoots. And now you have a lower blood sugar here. And so that's where people kind of get that hangry, that itis, or this is where people are told they have hypoglycemia because they're feeling bad here, but nobody ever checked when their sugars were here. So they're never told they have insulin resistance. They just have hypoglycemia. So what are the symptoms of insulin resistance? When you're craving for sugar or salty snacks, difficulty to lose weight, particularly even when you're decreasing your calories, but increasing your activity, it's still very hard. Constantly hungry, the skin tags. I love that one because everybody's like, skin tags, that's what everybody gets when they get older. Nope, not necessarily true. If you have more than 5 or 6 of these, that's linked to insulin resistance, and the science has already been out here. This isn't new stuff. Then you also have the pigmentation, the layers of skin that leave dark patches on your skin. That's not dirt. That's because insulin can act like a growth hormone, insulin-like growth hormone, and it can cause the overgrowth of skin to either be those little papules like the skin tags or the patches of skin. Then we have things like erectile dysfunction, low testosterone, that visceral fat increase, which is what actually kills us. It's not about being snatched to be cute. We need to be snatched so we don't have heart disease. So how do we get here? So let's look at this picture and kind of extrapolate out what a day can look like, okay? So if you were told to eat 6 to 11 servings of carbohydrates, like most of us were, or told to eat every couple hours to feed your metabolism, your day may look like this. So you wake up, your insulin's low because you've been, fasting all night because nobody eats, well, not nobody, but most of us don't eat while we're sleeping, right? And you have your breakfast. So if that's pancakes, waffles, toast, muffins, anything, what that will do is it will actually break down into glucose. So then that's going to make your pancreas have to release a lot of insulin. That's this dotted line. And then a couple hours later, because it drops, like I showed you on that slide earlier, you're looking for your next snack again. You're hungry again. And the easiest things to pick up are going to be carbohydrate-rich snacks. Then lunch comes, and if you're eating a sandwich or a burger or fries or all those sound like carbs to you, right? Because they should. That's going to kick up insulin again because you have so many carbs. And then the afternoon slump is now going to make you reach for a snack, then dinner, then dessert, and your insulin level didn't even have time to come all the way down. Well, before you start getting your sugars elevated, which is what your doctors are looking at, because in regards to like diabetes or pre-diabetes, what we're looking at is we're looking at the A1C. We have been taught to chase the sugar and not pay any attention to the insulin. But what happens when you're a person that comes in to be seen and you were having all these symptoms, you're having all these things, and you're like, I know my Aunt Mabel had these symptoms. So I for sure have type 2 diabetes, or I'm nearing that way. Let me go to the doctor and be seen. But when you go, your A1C is normal. You're in a normal range. And so to you, you're thinking, oh my gosh, I know something's wrong with me, but nobody can find it. No, nobody's looking for it. Your doctor doesn't know to look at your insulin level. That's not how we're taught to look at this, or even look at the other ratios. There's HOMA-IR, there's the insulin resistance score. There's other things we can look at to see if you have insulin resistance. And so you stay frustrated, and your doctor's frustrated, one, because if you have a good doctor, they want you better, and you still have these symptoms. One thing that does happen when your insulin is high in the bloodstream, this is before you get to type 2 diabetes, that's end stage insulin resistance at the end. So when your insulin is high in the bloodstream, what it does is it makes your kidneys hold on to sodium. And so that's going to make fluid follow sodium, water follow sodium. So that's going to increase blood volume. Okay. Then the blood vessel lining inside the lining is going to get a little fluffy from inflammation. That's going to make that surface a little harder to push fluid through. So that's going to increase the pressure there. And then when you have the nitric oxide production impaired, that allows your blood vessels to dilate when that's working correctly. But when it's not working correctly, those vessels are now stiff and they aren't dilating as well. So that would increase your blood pressure. That's insulin doing that. And then insulin, it starts working on your liver to increase your triglycerides and decrease your HDL, which is your good cholesterol. We kind of don't want that to be decreased. So that's problematic there. It's protective. It has protective benefit from heart disease. Then it also increases the LDL particles that are small, dense particles that get into the lining of the blood vessels. So over time, those blood vessels get smaller and smaller and smaller, the lining inside, and then you close it off. And that's how you get things like heart attack or stroke, okay? Yeah, that's a problem. And then with the PCOS, the polycystic ovarian syndrome, you start developing cysts on the ovaries. You end up having weight gain. You start having hair production in places you aren't supposed to have it, face or your chest for women, right? And it disrupts the menstrual cycles and a lot of times leaving women infertile. And so a great thing is we had a call maybe about a year ago at this time, well, maybe not that far out, of someone who was actually struggling with PCOS for years and told she wouldn't be able to get pregnant, was able to get pregnant. And so we were able to see she was able to do that after 4 months of using the products that we're going to talk about today. Now, insulin resistance actually comes hand in hand with inflammation, okay? And so in so doing, you end up having problems with autoimmune issues. One, when that inflammation starts to bother the gut and you start getting growth of different types of organisms, yeast or bad bacteria there, it throws things off. That's gut dysbiosis. And then that poor bacteria or the processed food you've been eating start to tear up that lining and you get things like leaky gut. And so, which means you get things leaking out from the gut that aren't supposed to be there. So your gut has trillions of bacteria in it, your gut microbiome, and its job is to get the nutrients out of the food you eat so you can use that, right? But it's also to get the toxins out so that's not in your body, so you're getting rid of that in your stool. Well, if you have a leaky gut, you have good things leaking out that you kind of need to absorb, but you also have bad things leaking out. And since the inflammation causes impaired T cell function, those T cells, which actually to tell the body what not to attack, they're all confused. And so now you're attacking things that aren't supposed to be attacked. You're attacking yourself. And so if that's your joints, that's rheumatoid arthritis, lupus. If it's your colon, that's ulcerative colitis or Crohn's. If it's your brain, that's multiple sclerosis. So those types of things can actually be reversed. Reversed if we deal with the root cause. All of those things. First things first, stop the processed foods. Nobody needs to be eating this. I call this big food because it's not real food. I mean, nobody needs to have this. There is no diet of people who are doing well that are eating processed foods. So that's anything packaged, boxed, or barcoded. Those are not our friends, okay? Reason being is because they're addictive. So the whole sugar part of this, it keeps making you want to have more. That's why you feel like you can't eat just one, or once you pop, you don't want to. All that stuff is because of this sugar. Sugar actually triggers dopamine to shoot up. Dopamine is a neurotransmitter that shoots up when you are feeling great. Sometimes great for things you don't have any business doing, addictive behavior, illicit substances, but sugar does that. And so you don't have fat doing that. You don't have protein doing that. And then you feel like you can't say no. You feel like it's calling your name. And that's why so many people are struggling when they're dealing with insulin resistance, because they keep feeding their body the foods that are hurting them. And so these processed foods, they're stripped of their fiber. That's the problem. Fiber was there to put in place so that way we could eat these carbohydrates without it having such a bad effect. I believe it was anyway, because the fiber, it actually stops the inflammation, and it also allows the cells to be more sensitive to insulin. Okay, it dampens the effect of the glucose, so much doesn't get into your bloodstream. That's why having a great fiber supplement or fiber matrix is huge. And then fasting. So some people would be like, why do I need to fast? This is the question I get all the time. And I'm sure you do, Stacey, too. It's why do I have to fast, or I don't know how to fast, or I'm afraid of fasting. Well, fasting is literally just a period of not eating. That's it. You're just not eating. And so we fast when we sleep. So all we're doing is trying to extend that time. And the reason being because there is actual science that shows that pretty much a cellular detox happens when we stop eating after a certain amount of time. So when you get past 17 hours, you get rid of pathogens, viruses, toxins get removed from cells, you improve cognitive function, you allow the mitochondria to have more energy, which is huge. We need them to have more energy, and you get improved immune function. So when you're looking at things, you're thinking, so what things can actually help? I want to eat sugars, I'm having trouble with my weight, or I want to snack all the time. Well, everybody and their mama's on a GLP-1, so can a GLP-1 help? Well, everybody and their mama's not on a GLP-1, actually. They're on a receptor agonist, which is faking like it's your GLP-1, but your GLP-1 is produced by your small intestine. And it does help with delaying gastric emptying, but it also tells your hypothalamus you're not really hungry. And so this is what Big Pharma figured out. That's why they want to make this drug. And one, it was supposed to help diabetics, but it's been used as weight loss because they increased the dosage on it. And in so doing, there's going to be a whole bunch of side effects. As with anything that's made exogenously or outside the body, that's not natural, you're going to have some side effects. And when you lose your weight, 40% of that is from muscle and bone. Yeah, I kind of need my muscle and bone. Anybody who's over the age of 20 needs their muscle and bone. Okay. Serious complications also thyroid cancer risk. Yeah, a little problematic for me. Pancreatitis, gastroparesis. That's when your stomach is paralyzed. And there's not really any coming back from that. Other than people I know that have been taking these products, I don't know anybody who's been actually able to heal that problem. Gut perforation, that's when you get a hole in your gut, so to speak, right? Well, we already talked about leaky gut. We don't want a hole in our gut. We need everything to flow like it's supposed to so things aren't leaking out. Okay, that can be a surgical emergency. Then, after you've been on the products for 2 years, the effect that it does with decreasing cravings, that can actually go away or not work as well. So now you need a higher dosage or you need a new medication. So why not try to do this naturally? Why not try to boost your natural GLP-1 hormone instead of relying on a receptor agonist, a faker, so to speak, right? The great thing about the yerba mate extract drink we drink, it does boost your GLP-1 production, your natural production. It produces it about, increases it about 60 to 70%. Part of it has to do with, one, the ferulic acid that gets into your gut and stops the breakdown of GLP-1. So we need the gut and we need the yerba mate extract drink. And so this fiber blend, it actually treats your microbiome, those trains of bacteria, with the fiber we need. We want to treat that bacteria right so it treats us right. And in so doing, you don't have the leakiness or the growth of the bad bacteria, and you start to get more in alignment. And so why do I come on here and talk about this every week? Is because, one, we have thousands of lives change. We've even had 1 million people start and actually purchase the Feel Great system. And so the word is getting out there, and I'm just so happy that I'm in the front. And I get to get these texts from people talking about their results. I get to see more and more people happy with their new life. And I get to tell people the truth. Insulin resistance is not genetic. It's 100% lifestyle. Someone told me once that I thought it was in my DNA, but it was in my dinner. So what's stopping you from taking back control of your health now? I know I get to feel like a superhero every day because I get to share this information with others. And so I hope you do as well. If not, just take this information and use it yourself. So back to you, Stacy.
Wow, that's lots of information. That was amazing. Um, where do we go from here? Do we bring in our next guest?
Yes.
Okay, so that's what I
So
think we're at. So again, if you are listening and you heard all that information, which is such, when I learned about this, I mean, once you learn it, you can't unlearn it. And I learn something new every time I listen to Dr. Tiffany. I just really appreciate her. And I'm very fortunate that I got to do this today. And here is Lindy, is one of my clients. She's been with us since, gosh, how long has it been? May? Can you hear us, Lindy?
uh-oh.
Can she hear us?
Cynthia?
Do you hear
I
us?
can't hear anybody.
Oh
She
no.
can't hear us.
Mm-mm.
Oh no. Okay. Well, we can hear her though. So,
Yes.
well, can you read my can you just share your story? I can hear you. Let me text her.
Yeah. Share your story.
Share your story.
You gotta love technology. It's so
I'm
much.
not a good, I don't know if y'all can hear me, but I'm not a good lip syncer. I don't know what you
Yes, we hear you.
I don't know.
This is the
Oh,
time
share
where
my story. Okay. Thank
Yes.
you, Stacy, for the text. Okay. I can't hear nobody, but
I texted her.
anywho, so all my stuff started out like in 2022. My body had been screaming at me for a while. I've had a lot of hormone imbalances. It's kind of, in the family too. So like, the autoimmune disease and everything, but I had a lot of woman hormone issues. And so I went to the doctor seeking help because I couldn't stay it no more. I was bleeding 7 months straight. And I had to seek help because I didn't know what to do. So the doctors had put me on metformin, they put me on Ozempic, they put me on birth control, and I was like, I don't want to take all that. But I was on Ozempic for almost a year, and the metformin, I had talked to my family, and they didn't take care of their bodies and they didn't know how to fix it. So unfortunately, they do have diabetes. I was borderline diabetic at a 5.7. And now since doing Ozempic, I'm down to a 5.2. My body weight has went down. I have energy. But I'm getting out of the story though. But anywho, so I had a long line of, just trying to understand what was happening with my body. After the doctor put me on all that, I decided not to do the metformin. I did do the Ozempic for 8 months, but I had a lot of side effects to it. I did lose weight, but after I had got off of it, I gained all my weight back. And so just scrolling on TikTok, and I actually was resonating with Stacy because she was telling her story. And I was like, well, that sounds just like my dad. So I was looking into her story because it kind of resonated with me about my father being an alcoholic. Thank you, Stacy. I love you. But it ended up helping me. And then I put my sister onto it and my brother as well because he had kidney failure. But with my story, when I had first started, I've been on and off of it. Everyone's story is going to be different. I had started because I had a bunch of issues, and I tried to look, and I did my due diligence for like 2 or 3 months. I watched Stacy. I, did my due diligence with the company. I read into it, and I thought the nutraceutical was a lot safer route than trying to do the Ozempic that was causing, major issues with everybody. And so I started it. Amazing. Like within the first day, I could feel my brain fog was gone. After a while of being on it, my bloating was down. And then I wanted to make sure I did my labs so that way I could look and see at the difference, because your body is not always going to change dramatically, but I wanted to see what the blood work had did. So when I took my test, we did a full panel. I was insulin resistant and everything. We figured that out when I was on the Ozempic before. And so when I took it in the beginning, I was, afterwards, like I think 2 months or 3 months down the road, I had took it and it had lowered it. And then this last one I took is probably about 4 or 5 months in. My numbers were great. My kidneys were at 113, so they went up, so that was good. And my, what do you call that? I was at a 5.2 for my insulin resistance. So 5.7 down to 5.2. And that only took 6 months, and I was not on it regularly. So I can't hear everybody. I don't know exactly, I'm hoping y'all can hear everything I'm saying, because it's a beautiful protocol, and thanks Stacy. Everyone's story is different. I haven't been able to be on it consistently because we're trying to open up a restaurant, as y'all can see. And we moved, so my address had got mixed up, but the protocol is amazing. It's a nutraceutical, and I'm just so glad that I found it because it's changed me. I've lost weight. My energy is great. I'm able to walk with my kids every day now because I don't feel sluggish, and you don't have bloating. You don't have the inflammation that causes you to hurt constantly. So yeah, I'm going to be on it. For life. As soon as I kind of get over all my little things that I had. Everyone's story is different. Just, stay on it. And, that's my story. I'm so sorry. I wish I could hear everybody, but I hope everyone, there's so much that goes to those stories, but
it was great. Great
that's all
story.
I got for y'all tonight.
All right. Thank you.
Yes, thank you.
She has a great story. I really appreciate it. Yes. So she started it for her dad because he's an alcoholic, not knowing the effect for herself. And she started on it, and now her whole family needs it. So she's been working on her family. So I'm really proud of her. So wow. Yes. Okay. So 2 amazing stories. I love that. Very exciting stories. I always think my story is not as, because mine doesn't show on blood work. Mine's like, you can't really see mine on paper, right? So I always think that mine's less, but mine's about depression, and I think that's amazing too. So are we talking about how to use the products now?
We can, but you know what? I think you make a good point, because I think everybody looks at these before and afters and they're looking for these crazy weight loss, but your mental health is huge. And the fact that improved, and then let's not even deal with the addiction side of things. I mean, that's huge. You can't discount that. I don't care that you can't see that in the picture. I think that is definitely worth talking. That's that quality of life stuff that we forget. And so that's the fun part of doing what we do. So if you ever feel like your story is small, just kick that right on out the window, because that is so not true.
Well, like I always tell people that too. I said, mine doesn't show on blood work. It is. I don't take blood pressure medication anymore, and you can check my blood pressure. But if I always tell people on my lives, I'm like, if I could take and bottle up the way I felt June of 24 and couple years before that in perimenopause to the way I feel now and give that to you in a pill form so you can feel it. I wish I could show you that, because my boyfriend Mark was online looking for natural remedies of menopause for me, and we didn't know what to do. So I literally, I mean, it was just crazy. So within, it was fast too. And then the IBS too.
Oh,
The
yeah.
IBS was a big one too. 19 years of IBS in 2 weeks, gone. And I was the
Oh,
walking
wow.
Pepto-Bismol commercial. And those are big things too for people.
Yeah.
I would
Yeah.
sing the commercial. I was, it was terrible. I worked in long-term care and I was right with the tooting along as I went, because I couldn't, my stomach was so sick all the time. It was
Yeah.
awful. And it really isn't comfortable. So, I mean,
Yeah.
there's so
Yeah.
many things it does, and it helps people in so many ways. I have
Yes.
another client whose COPD got better. So there's so many people being affected in so many ways that it's just amazing. I'm
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
really fortunate that I found this, for
Yes.
sure.
Yes. I think we all are. So then how
Mhm.
do we use these great things?
How do we use them? Okay, so yeah, how do we use them, right? It's simple. I mean, it really is easy. And when we say tea, I'm not a big tea person. People think it's tea, like I don't like tea. Well, it's not really like tea. The tea is a yerba mate. It's a mate. And we drink 2 of those a day if you're in the Americas. So like it is a different protocol if you're out of the country, but for the United States, we do drink 2 yerba mates a day. So what this is going to do is we also couple that with a small fasting, and literally, like Dr. Tiffany said, we fast in the night. You don't even think about it. Like you go to bed, you're not eating, right? So you're taking a break from the plate. You're allowing your body to do work its magic. Your food digest, all your stuff happens, and by the morning your GLP-1's activated and you're getting ready to start fat burning, FAT burning. I'm just doing the other platform where you can't say it. So you're ready for fat burning. So like you wake up in the morning and you can eat or not eat. I choose to skip breakfast or push it back a little bit, and I pour my tea. And you literally pour a tea into water, hot or cold, and it stimulates GLP-1. It gives you energy, focus, stamina. It's an anti-inflammatory, antioxidant, anti-carcinogenic. It tastes amazing. And I like to say, I sippity doo on this all morning, and it quiets food noise. That's the most amazing thing. It shuts down the cravings. So if you're a person who's like thinking about food all the time, this will help that stop. It just shuts it off. So you drink one in the morning, you wait, you prioritize protein, fiber, and good fats in a well-balanced meal. I don't really worry about the calories as much as what I'm eating. So as long as I'm incorporating my fiber and my protein in, you can eat some of those carbs too. But you have to be logical here. But eat a full meal. And I eat 2 meals a day. I think some people do put in 3, depending on how you want to break in between. There's no snacking. And then I drink another tea in the afternoon. And then before my heaviest meal, I drink my fiber. And this fiber it's a 7 fiber blend. It is not Metamucil or Benefiber. It literally feeds your good gut microbiome. It healed my gut. I know this is one of the biggest reasons why this and fasting, that my gut
Yeah.
healed in 2 weeks. I
Yeah.
mean, this is your multivitamin too. So you're getting it forms a fiber matrix right in your belly, and it slows that digestion down of the carbohydrates. So it lowers your blood sugar spike and your insulin and your cholesterol. So you're getting it's a powerhouse team, the tea and the fiber really together. Simple protocol. I mean, literally now I'm off of all of these, and all I do when I pack to go anywhere is take these. It's amazing. I love it.
Yeah.
And that's I always feel like a little infomercial there, but it is amazing. And that's all I can say about it. I absolutely adore it. And it's been a little over a year, and I don't see myself stopping anytime soon. So that's all you have to do. And you can drink the fiber before whichever meal you prefer. It doesn't matter. Whatever one is going to be heavier, I would say. I do my evening meal because normally I eat more at my supper time meal. But some people eat more at lunch. So it just depends on you. So, and then the fasting part, whoever invited you, whoever you order through, whether it's me or Dr. Tiffany or whoever invited you, we will walk you through it. We'll help you. You're not on your own. We've done all the legwork. We didn't recreate the wheel. This is the wheel. This is the way the body is meant to work. Break from food and let your body do its magic. Our bodies are amazing, and they are here to heal us. And they literally can if you have the right tools. And that's going to be a good diet and add a few nutraceuticals that will kind of like willpower in the bottle, right? It just helps
Yeah.
you.
Yeah.
It really does. Did I miss anything?
Well, yeah, I'm sure the questions everybody asks is how much does this stuff cost?
Oh, yes. How much does it cost? Okay. So I like to break this down because people think of, because you order once a month. And I want you to think about it like this. Give it a 90-day mindset. So 90 days, okay? Because your body has to you didn't get sick overnight. So let's think about this. You're not going to get healed overnight. So we're healing your body. So 90-day mindset. Each packet is approximately $1.75. So you have 3 drinks per day. That's $5.33 plus tax. Every state is different. Montana, I have no sales tax. So mine is $5.33 a day. Now, other states have tax that is sales tax, so they pay a little more. It depends on your state. Every state's different, so that it would be a little bit more. But you take $5.33 and you times that by 30, and you get $159 a month. So $159 a month, you literally are going to cut out a meal, and you're going to cut out snacking, and you're probably not going to drink any of these anymore or things like this. So it's cost neutral, or even, I think we save money, honestly, because you don't even eat as much as you used to eat because of the foods you pick keep you full, and so do the products. So you're really coming this in every direction. So $159 a month with a money back guarantee. Don't forget that too. A 90-day money back guarantee. I mean, what's going to offer you that? So it's just amazing.
Nothing. Okay. Nothing's going to offer you that. Plus, we have the FSA and HSA, so it makes it even easier to be able to use these products too.
True. Health savings and flex spending. Yep. And And if you order, there's 2 options when you order. Oh, and there's links. So if you want a link to me or whoever invited you, just send them a message, and then they can send you their link, or we'll send you our link, whoever. And when you go in, you can either do a one-time purchase or a subscription. Now, for the health savings and flex spending, it's under the one-time purchase. But what I would recommend, and that's what I have my clients do, is do the subscription. You can pay up front, submit your receipt to your health savings or your flex spending, get reimbursed that way, because you save on shipping, and you get $10 off. So you save more money by doing it that way. And it's worked for other people, so it should be not a problem. But if you need the health savings because of the cost, just do the one-time purchase, but no, you need to order once a month then. And just give it the 90 days, really. And don't give up on yourself, because it is a little process. You'll start seeing things immediately, and always look at non-scale victories. So like, don't be watching that scale every day, but notice how the tight pair of jeans that you can't get into, put those on Friday morning at 8 a.m. and then try them on again in a week. And that's how you're going to tell if you're losing inches. Or measure yourself and write down the date and when you met what you measured, and then remeasure in a week or 2. And you'll start seeing the inflammation and stuff come down quickly. You're going to see more energy, less inflammation, less brain fog. Like, those things were immediate. And I was losing inches in 2 weeks. So, I mean, it's pretty awesome.
Yes.
And energy. You'll have more energy.
Yes, and energy. Yeah. Anybody who's actually in the chat, if you don't mind dropping in there some of your symptoms with using the symptom improvement with using the products, that would be great. Because Stacey gave her great stories. You've heard some other great stories, but definitely please drop in there the things that you have been experiencing, because we want to share this for everyone on all the platforms this is streaming to. So that was great, Stacey. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Now, I was waiting for people to come in. Okay. Well,
oh, there she is.
Time to get our guest back. So right now,
we might have lost Lindy.
Yeah.
It's okay.
But yes, people are putting.
Can I say something? I want to just say, I should have mentioned it too, but my sleep quality. First thing I noticed was sleep quality. It may not be something big. I lost 7 pounds in 4 days. I've lost 22 pounds total, all the visceral fat, my premenopausal, menopausal, and postmenopausal belly I could not get rid of. And I have more energy than I needed. I really didn't need the energy part, but it's a different type of energy. Also, you're not like wired and but you're focused. Your focus is more intact, so I feel great. I'm 70 years old.
I cannot believe you're 70. You are not 70. Oh, you look gorgeous. You're gorgeous.
Claiming it. I'm claiming
You
the
should.
70s
I hope I look as good
going
as you when
forward.
I'm 70. You look amazing.
Oh, these are awesome things coming in. You do, Miss
Yeah.
Donna. Thanks for sharing that.
Yeah,
A1C
Tina, I just found out today her A1C went down like that. That is amazing, Tina. We love that.
That is great. I love it. I love it. Yes, so we have all the testimonials coming here. So great. Beating gastroparesis, because that doesn't get beat without doing. In fact, we were told that could not get better. So to see that get better with the products is another thing that says, okay, yeah, we are doing the right thing here. Oh, and Samira was on here last week.
54 down.
Great story with her
Oh, there's
inflammation.
Amy, her sugar cravings lessened.
Yes. So these are the things we're seeing. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the sugar craving.
Yep.
Yeah.
Thank you so
with
much.
Sheena and her gastroparesis, that is amazing that happened with her, and she was super sick. These stories just amaze me every time I see them.
They do. That's why we do what we do.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Well, since we have everybody back in here, this is the time, while Jim is putting those comments up on the screen. Are there any questions? If you have any questions for us while you have us here, me, even though I can't be your medical doctor, but I can definitely point you in the right direction. And we have our budding nurse here in the middle, Stacy. So definitely give us some questions. And Donna's had so many years in the health and wellness field. I mean, you have a wealth of knowledge sitting right here. So this is the time to ask us some questions while you have us, because once this time is off, we gone. I'm just playing.
That's it. No, I got to study for an exam tomorrow. I breathe and eat. My pharmacology is the hardest class I've ever taken in my life so far, and I've taken microbiology and chemistry. Pharmacology is hard. I don't know why it's so hard, but I literally study like 40 hours for that test, for that exam. Anyway,
something about learning all those drugs. That's what it is.
I know they like, and I'll just be quiet about it. I have to keep my lips closed when it comes to some stuff I have to learn.
Yes.
It's okay. Yes. It's a means to an end. It'll be good.
Yes, it is.
I'm excited about it. It's going to be great. Any questions? What else can I say? It is true too, Donna, the energy, and people get worried about the caffeine. The caffeine is not like drinking these. It's not like drinking this kind of caffeine, or even I used to drink a pot of coffee a day, literally black coffee with 4 large Red Bulls. And I already am a hyperactive, right? But I was always tired. And I literally drank all that and worked overnights in long-term care, and I couldn't stay awake, and eating all my candy. And then now I drink this and 1 cup of coffee a day and water. That's it. I don't drink any other, because this gives you the energy you need. You feel good on this. You just feel good.
Yeah, I'm very caffeine sensitive. I can't do caffeine. I did it back in '96 when I was working. I ended up having an emergency cardiac cath. And then he says it wasn't caffeine. I had got some coffee, hazelnut, because the nurses would come in there and have the hazelnut, the night ones. The unit would be hazelnut. So I thought I'd get that coffee and have me and my daughter have a little. I put some cream and put a drip of coffee in hers, and I ended up in the hospital with an emergency cardiac cath.
Oh my gosh.
So
but this caffeine doesn't bother you with this yerba mate?
I can only do 1.
You can do 1.
I tried 2, and I was up for 48 hours straight. I couldn't sleep.
So you dilute it a little more? I tell people to dilute it a little more.
I just sip it over, and I'm going longer, but I'm staying up later at night and sleeping better. So my REM and my deep sleep is really improved. So.
Okay.
But I can get the 1 in. Sometimes I do 2 fibers, or, if I'm not eating. If I'm eating, I try to make my breakfast more protein, all protein, no carbs at all.
Okay. Well, I'm glad you brought that point. There isn't a particular diet that you need to follow, but once you start using these products, your desire for the carbohydrate starts to decrease. And then what you do eat, you dampen that effect with the fiber. So we end up kind of making the changes we need to make to metabolize glucose better. I mean, if you're somebody with insulin resistance, you need help with metabolizing glucose, meaning you don't need to eat a whole bunch of it. So, but having these tools makes that choice easier for so many people. So, but thanks for sharing all of that. Well, I don't see any questions.
Feel great. It's named perfectly. The Feel Great system, because you do feel great. every day I feel great, I
Yes,
always
yes,
feel great, but I feel greater.
yes. Yes, Stacy's getting all the love in the chat, as you should.
Stacy, you
That
did a
is
great
so
job.
great. Well, I guess we're trying to wrap up here, huh? So we don't have any real questions in here.
Yeah.
So Miss Donna,
Yeah.
what is something that you would tell? I mean, you're in your 70s. So I know you have a lot of people around your age, your peers, that could really benefit from these products. What is something that you say that is your lasting thing you say to them?
Quality of life is more for me at this age. I had a rough time growing because I had accidents, 2 back surgeries, took care of my mother and my sister with cancer. And so I didn't have time for myself. I was taking care, I had 3 kids, raised grandkids. And so what I would say is I'm 70 years old and quality of life is important to me. I take care of seniors for the last 15 years. And my whole goal for them is to have quality of life. And I see with what I do with them, enhancing their quality of life, making sure they're getting those fruit and vegetables in, what it does for them. And this was just the next level of care for myself. So it's more important that I take care of me, in my life, in my years to go. I want to live a vibrant life, however long that is. I want it to be pain-free, all of those things. I suffered back pain for 20 years. I have a total lumbar fusion in 2016, and I did not have that. So our body, if we just give it what disease is not, we're not supposed to have it. I think God made us that our bodies could heal itself. I've always felt that way since I was 20 years old. And so I tell them, a lot of them don't listen. They're just set in their ways and they think this is the way life is supposed to be for them. It really, if they could have seen me 15 years ago, 20 years ago, 30 years ago, I was a different person, And so now they look at me and say, oh, you got so much energy and you're just a little, and that's where you should want to be too. Because,
Right.
if you give your
Right.
body what it needs, it'll do some miracle things for you, in a short time.
Yeah.
I fight with my doctors all the time because they are stuck in that prescription mode. And, I fight with them all the time and they know I'm not taking it, but you have to be an advocate for your own health. And as we get older, things change. So you have to have something that's going to change with it. Let it be something natural. Let it be something that's good, and let it do what it's due.
Yeah, that sounds good. That sounds good. Stacy, you want to go next or you want to go last? You want to close us out?
I don't care. What do you want to do?
I don't care.
Okay, you can close this out. I'll say a couple things. If you're listening and you're feeling like things are hitting home, there's nothing to lose really to do this. Like I have everything. Anyone in my life that's close to me, I have them try it. I really do. And my mom is 76 and she's on a fixed income. And she's like, well, I really don't. She was doing it for a while and she was having vertigo, stuff like that. And she was getting more energy. She lost her belly. She didn't know what she weighed really, but when she went to the doctor, she had lost 20 pounds over an extended time. I don't know how long it was. Anyway, but she stopped doing it regularly. And yesterday she told me that I got my belly back, I think. So I got to start drinking the tea again. I was like, yeah, Mom. So what I'm saying that for is you remind me of that, Donna, because you were like, because you're your age and my mom's a little bit older. And I'm like, it doesn't matter what age you are, because you can be my age, 50, you can be 76, you could be 20. We all need to work on our bodies and we are what we eat. And that's the thing we learned when we were a kid, you are what you eat, and it's true. Like I wanted to deny that my whole life and said, no, I want to eat what I want to eat and I will deal with it later. And that's what we do. We're reactive when it comes to our health. So we get sick and we go and we get one of those orange bottles and we think that's going to be the end all, but that doesn't heal us. And you need to realize that the food you eat is what is causing the issue. So if you change the food, in most cases, you can do a lot of improvement in your health. It might not fix every single thing, but it's going to get you to a place that you can't imagine. And it's worth a try. And it's like a speed bump in your life. What's 90 days? Christmas. I mean, how fast is that going to be here? And you could be a changed person by Christmas, seriously. And I keep going because it holds me accountable. And I help people every day and it makes my life better. So it's a little self-centered too, but I help people in turn helps me. And it's like extending the olive branch. So we all would love you to come and we'd love to help you. So that's all I got. But thanks for everyone for being here. And ladies, thank you so much.
That's good. We do have a question. So someone says they've been on the Feel Great system for 11 months and still can't get off of their blood pressure meds. So the great thing about this whole system is that you don't just purchase these products and go home. So you have somebody you should be connected with. So when you're saying you've been doing something for 11 months, that makes me think you may not be connecting with them. So I say reach out to them. One, to find out and go over and comb through. What I do is I do a 24-hour recall with my people, see what they're eating, just like Stacey said. What you're putting in your body actually affects that. You still can't be eating a bunch of crap foods and think everything to get corrected. It's not going to happen that way. I wish it did. There's going to be some things that get better, but all of it's not going to get better if you don't really make some changes. So I would say connect with a person you got the products from. Make sure you plug into our Tuesday calls. We have great science calls to where we go over things like this too, to figure out where a disconnect can be happening. But that's going to take a one-on-one discussion to figure out what may be happening. Unfortunately, that can't be just answered by a blank call because it's something going on. And so that would take a one-on-one talk. So bottom line, all of us are here because we care. And we know someone who's actually been struggling. And we at some point have been struggling. My mother, I was driving home with her. I had a long drive with her this past weekend, and she turned 74 on Monday. And one of the things she said, all my uncles, my aunts, and even my mother, they died at 49. So I didn't expect to turn 74. And they died of metabolic health issues. They died of cancers, diabetes, blood pressure. And so that was her norm. And the reality is that's still a lot of people's norm. That's still a lot of people on the call's norm. And so what's awesome is we actually have a way to make these lifestyle changes something that is reversing all of that. So if you're sitting there and you have tried everything, you're feeling hopeless, you feel like there's no answers, we have found something that is helping so many, and all it takes is for you to drink, just to add this to some water. That's it. And if we're wrong, you prove us wrong after 90 days. So there's no excuse for sitting there miserable. There's no excuse for watching somebody else be miserable when you know what this is, the possibility of this. So yes, it becomes something worth trying. So I hope you do try it. I hope you do share with others and get on this train of so many people that have great results, because we want you to have them too.
For sure.
We do. We do. Then.
That was great, Dr. Tiffany.
Yes, that was awesome. You guys have a great night. Thank you so
All
much,
right, everyone. Thanks, everyone. Just get with the person who invited you, and we'd love to have you on the team. All right. Bye, guys. Thank you so much, Dr. Tiffany. Thank you, Donna.
Bye-bye. Thank you.
Bye-bye.